let me show you how to become Jeffrey Epstein. Yo, I didn't mean it like that. I meant how to be as influential. The Epstein story is quite interesting. He had ties all over. Bill Gates, Clinton, Donald Trump, kings and queens. I mean, we probably all forgot about Stephen Hawking. Now we know that Epstein was a spy for the Mossad, so there are probably still resources he had which we don't know about. I'll only analyze those aspects of his success which anybody could do. Jeffrey started off as a high school teacher, teaching math and physics. One day, good old Jeff decided to go to an art gallery, which, even though he thought was stupid, he still went. At the gallery, he bumped into one of the parents of the kids who recognized the smarts of Epstein and invited him to work on Wall Street. Jeff started off not knowing anything about stocks, but according to Greenberg, he was a PSA, a poor, smart asset, with a deep desire to get rich. He was an asset because he was a fast learner. Now, as time went by, he started to date the boss's daughter. That gave him a bit of status at the firm, which means possibly future billionaires looked up to him. Well, at least he made himself interesting. Shortly after that move, the boss called Epstein into his office to check him. Why? Well, he told everyone he had 2 business degrees, and he had none. Epstein pulled a Mike Ross on Wall Street, and his boss let it slide. Impressive. The boss died a few years later, and now it was Epstein's time to run the fund. So, Epstein got to work. He already had a couple of high net worth individual clients, but he wanted more. When you have one billionaire friend, it's not so hard to gather more. He opened a place to network, aka his island. By the way, I don't know what's going on with people that are living in New York, but Epstein had an island to network on. Did he have those parties? And they were the only people prosecuted for having insane networking places. You all in New York like illegal stuff, don't you? Anyway, Epstein first invited friends. Then their friends came, then friends of friends, etc. After 10 years of making the island work, he knew everyone. Why was this good for him? Well, Jeff was a financial manager, so he basically lived by using insider trading the right way. He had insider information from every single person who was on his island, and he had compromising information on them as well if they were trying to make him afraid. It was a great power play by Epstein, and the rich respect that. They don't care about who has ties on who, because every single player has ties on every other player. That's just how this game is played. You're not playing with a ball here, you're playing with lives. To summarize, Epstein went from getting lucky to working really hard to earning a spot on top of a hedge fund to opening an island which attracted the wealthiest people in the world. When they got there, Epstein wanted insider information. In return, he'd maybe give them a bit of info to trade with. And of course, he had compromising information about everyone, just in case things went south. Looking at it exclusively business-wise, Jeff had a great run. And so could you. There are just 2 things you need and 1 thing you should do. Make your luck factor as high as possible. Meet with as many people as possible and work very hard. You should also play ethically. I mean, people who reach Epstein's point, managing money with the power of multiple countries, is a responsibility over millions of people.